What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As we open up a new week, it is July 11th. We are getting some information as it relates to crypto regulation, how the U.S. could regulate crypto. They are working with the G20, the G7 members to find a way to figure this whole thing out. It's been on the table for quite some time. We got the first draft of the bill on crypto. It seems like Bitcoin is looking like a solid play right now because chances are it's going to get labeled as a commodity. But what about all of the other 20,000 different cryptocurrencies? We're going to dive into it in this live stream. Usually I'm right now scheduled to go live on Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern, but this one could not wait. So had to jump on here, just put a video out behind this just before I popped on. And I said, you know what? The more I'm reading, the more I'm seeing. Let's go live. Let's talk about it. Let's jump into it, today, this morning. And it's very important stuff. No matter which asset you're invested in or not invested in, this is critical. This is going to affect us all. And, we could sit there and say, oh, I don't want crypto regulation. That's going to, damage, all of crypto and this and that. Well, no matter what, this is important because it affects every single last one of us. And we're going to dive into it. I've got a few things I want to address here. And let's jump in. So the first thing I want to talk about is this short clip from Yahoo Finance that came out. And on your way in, if you guys would hit the like button, it really helps us out. Push this thing out. Be Cool's in the house. Perfect timing. Commuting to work this AM. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate the support, man. Crypto Arts in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. First sip. Hit that like button. Yep. Coffee in hand, my friend. Coffee in hand. Larry Hale's in the house. Good morning. First sip. Let's do it. Let's do it. Lot to get to, guys. Lot to jump into. So this is just a 1-minute clip. We're going to listen to Joe Biden here. Well, not Joe Biden. Actually, somebody from Yahoo Finance talk about what Joe Biden had said. And then we're going to unpack it a little bit and then jump into some other different articles as it relates to cryptocurrency. I'll probably just play through my video here because I did go over an article. If you didn't miss, if you missed this, it's okay. It just came out. But all right, let's jump in. Let's waste no time. Let's jump in and listen what's going on here with how the U.S. could regulate crypto. And welcome in, everybody.
From the Biden administration on how to regulate cryptocurrencies at the direction of President Biden's executive order out this afternoon. This one focused on coordinating with global allies on regulating crypto. In a memorandum to President Biden, the U.S. Treasury, in consultation with Secretaries of State and Commerce, among others, said the U.S. must work with international partners to develop global standards for digital payments and central bank digital currencies. Specifically, the U.S. will continue working with the G7 on crypto, focusing on movement of money in private and public sectors, reducing payment inefficiencies, CBDCs, and...
So let's pause it right there. We could take a look at what's on screen right here. And I'm not just frozen there. I'm actually talking. This is a video from a little bit earlier this morning, so it looks kind of weird. U.S. to work with global partners on crypto regulations. Now, will this work? We shall see. I don't know, right? Trying to work with global leaders on anything is difficult, especially something this big and this important. But the U.S. will try to work with G7 on digital payments, CBDCs, and new technology as it relates to the crypto industry. U.S. works with allies on regulations to ensure stability and security. U.S. is working with G20 members on cross-border payments. We're going to unpack that a little bit more, but let's listen back in.
Adoption of new technologies. The U.S. will work with key allies to develop a vision for digital assets to ensure financial stability, national security through strong regulations. And the U.S. will also work with the G20 to engage with other major economies to make cross-border payments using crypto more seamless and safe.
Now, that last point, I want to dive into that a little bit deeper. G20 regulators call for new crypto rules on cryptocurrencies. This is the global payment system that we have been talking about. This is the reason why XRP is in all of this trouble. They're trying to dive into XRP. They're trying to figure this out because they know the power of cryptocurrency, being able to send cross-border payments instantaneously. However, it needs to be regulated. That is why the G20 parties are coming together here. So the FSB, or Financial Stability Board, called for new global rules for cryptocurrencies on Monday. Will submit a report to the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors in October. in October. So we are looking at October for more clarity on regulatory and supervisory approaches to stable coins and other crypto assets. Now, when I hear other crypto assets, I basically am saying in my head, everything that's not Bitcoin, basically, right? That is where I'm at, because we saw the first draft of the bill. Bitcoin looks to be, a commodity, right? In the eyes of the important figureheads making decisions on cryptocurrency. But what about all other assets, right? That's the big question. Is it a security? Is it a commodity? What does that approach look like when they're looking and vetting all of these different cryptocurrencies? We have well over 20,000 cryptocurrencies. This is going to take some time and a lot of effort. We shall see what comes out of it, but more information will come on this front as it relates to stablecoins and other crypto assets in October. Now, the body of regulators, government officials, and central bankers pointed to recent market turmoil as evidence of risk to financial stability, highlighting that a failure of a market player can quickly transmit risks to other parts of the ecosystem. We saw that happen with the Terra Luna fallout, right? Bitcoin dropped 20% just on that alone. And there, of course, are spillover effects in traditional finance as well. The statement from the FSB made particular reference to so-called stablecoins, UST collapsing, which have been on the agenda for several financial authorities since even before May's Terra crash. But May's Terra crash, again, brought it to the forefront, and I think kind of fast-tracked this situation in terms of figuring out what they're going to do with stablecoins. Now, the FSB is an international body based in Switzerland that coordinates on and promotes international financial stability. Its members include national authorities and central banks from 24 jurisdictions, including the United States, Russia, and China, and conducts outreach with approximately a further 70 other central banks, or jurisdictions, rather. But while it's emphasizing current market issues as an impetus to act, the FSB has been looking at crypto for a while now. In February, it published a report assessing risks from crypto assets, warning that they could pose to global financial stability due to their scale, structural vulnerabilities, and increasing interconnectedness with the traditional financial system. The FSB's statement aligns with several recent comments from senior finance officials and committees. On July 5th, the Bank of England's Financial Policy Committee warned that crypto assets may one day pose a risk to the wider financial system and called for enhanced regulation. Last Friday, this sentiment has also been echoed by the U.S. Federal Reserve Vice Chair, who has said that the sector needs strong guardrails. So with that being said, it looks like stablecoins will be the... Okay, so that was my video from this morning. Let me bring myself back into the fold here. So sorry about that. That was a little confusing. I was playing myself on a video. There was double me. I know people were like, hey, is it mirroring? My bad. But yeah, a lot of important stuff. Now, I want to show you this one too. This was dated back on July 7th, and it says the next 3 to 4 weeks will be critical for the crypto space. Okay, so listen into this.
Now we have a couple days, Jill, where Sam Bankman-Fried talked about most of the deleveraging taking place. Novogratz echoes that today. You think it's true?
I think that's absolutely true, but I think the question is not whether most of the deleveraging has taken place, but what will be the catalysts from here for the market to rebound and take back off. And that, I think, while we may have reached the bottom in terms of deleveraging, I think that we very much still have that as an open question. And personally, I think it's going to be a long grind back out.
John, do you think in the course of that long grind, we wind up with some systemic blowups? Is 3 arrows meaningful in your view?
Yeah, I think 3 arrows is certainly meaningful, and there's a lot of contagion risk stemming from that. I think over the next 3 to 4 weeks, it's pretty critical here to see if that contagion risk can be contained, if new capital is coming into the system, if it can buffer some of those companies, or if we're going to have another kind of Voyager type situation here. So I think the next 3 to 4 weeks are pretty critical. I think a lot of the concerns as we drag on further, those contagion risks become more and more mitigated as it's more and more contained. So I do think over the longer term, you certainly could be in a situation where you're starting to get close to that bottom. But the next 3 to 4 weeks here, I do think are going to be pretty important.
Yeah, Jill, on that same subject, those of us who've been around for a long time perhaps shouldn't have been surprised that there was leverage on leverage on leverage. And yet even Mike Novogratz, who I would include in that group, have been around for a while, seems surprised. Do you think we're done similarly with this contagion? Is there still a lack of transparency that's going to surprise us as we continue to unwind here?
Yeah, I mean, I think as was just said, the next 3 to 4 weeks will be critical in terms of what else shakes out. But I do think that this period has proven to be the critical moment of that shakeout. As you say, I think that this has caught the industry a little bit too much by surprise. I think that it's not lost on many of us in the industry that here Bitcoin was created post 2008, in the wake of all of the financial contagion over leveraging happening then, and it was created somewhat as a response to that. And here we've kind of recreated that as an industry. But I do also think that it's worth mentioning and noting that most of that contagion, most of that over leveraging has happened within centralized financial institutions operating around the industry, not within the decentralized financial protocols, which have, by and large, at least amongst the blue chips in that area, have withstood the battering that the markets have given them over the last several weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
John, Jill talked about a catalyst. Does a recapitalized industry sort of provide that kind of a catalyst? And how long is that process going to take?
It would. I think it would, but that's going to take a little bit of time, right? I think that retail investor appetite, we've certainly seen a lot of that come out. I think that could even go a little bit lower. Prices go lower. You also have a more challenging macro backdrop now than you did last cycle, 2017, 18.
Yep.
So it might take a little bit more of a time, but I think over the next 3 months, 6 months, you could start to see some catalysts emerge, and you could see some of that capital start to prop things up and get things going again. But I think certainly over the next month or so, we have retail appetites really come out a lot from crypto, and it's going to take a little bit of time to regain that.
Okay, so that's what we've got there. And, something on that front real quick as it relates to recessions and where the overall markets are right now. I was just looking at commodity prices. Gas prices are coming down. Prices of commodities are coming down here in the short term. We shall see if that continues, but that also helps us out tremendously. If we can attack the inflation issue head on, that would, of course, be good for the overall economy and be good for the overall markets at large, crypto included, right? So we are going to be tracking commodity prices. Obviously, the Fed, what they're doing with rates is a direct correlation of what we're going to see in the markets as well. But the first thing they are trying to do is tackle the inflation problem. Over the past couple of weeks, we have seen gas come down. It was down in Georgia. It was actually below $4, right? And I mean, who would have thought? I would have been so excited to see a sub $4 gas price, but that is a good sign down in the South here in the United States that gas prices are lowering. Even here in the Midwest, gas prices are slowly coming down. So that is a good sign. We'll see if it lasts, right? We'll see if it continues, but that could be a good turning point for us to, help the economy get back to where it needs to be. Obviously, after commodity prices come down, then we could see economic growth, and then we see money filtering back into the markets, including the crypto market as well. So that is something we're certainly looking at. Now, U.S. regulation bill aims to bring greater clarity to DAOs. This article just came out this morning, so thought this was fascinating. Wanted to bring this up. A lot of information over the next 3 to 4 weeks will be coming out as it relates to crypto regulation here in the States, outside the States. We already know from watching these first two clips that the United States and Biden plans to work with G20 members for cross-border payments. They plan on working with people outside the United States and other countries for a global payment system. And one of the big reasons why I think XRP is in the trouble it was too early. It was before its time, and the United States wasn't prepared for how big XRP got in the last bull run, right? In the last bull run, XRP was the big winner back in 2017. And there's a reason for that, because the technology that they are providing and the availability for global payments to be processed at lightning speed versus our traditional financial system where you have to wire money. It's a freaking pain. And the technology's there. They know that now. It's getting real here in 2022. So let's take a look at this article too. U.S. crypto regulation bill aims to bring greater clarity to DAOs. So the Responsible Financial Innovation Act proposes a comprehensive set of regulations for the digital asset sector. One potentially impactful section is DAOs. So back in June, Cynthia Lummis and Kirsten Gillibrand, of course, they were the first two to launch the crypto bill, the first draft of the crypto bill. So proposing a comprehensive set of regulations that address some of the biggest questions facing the digital assets sector. And I love how people in the government never say cryptocurrency. They always say digital assets. It sounds more legit, right? By providing holistic guidance to the rapidly growing industry, the bill offers a bipartisan response to President Biden's call for a whole of government approach to regulating crypto. Oh, they actually did say crypto in that one. So Joe Biden in the Situation Room, this was back in March of 2022. Among its many proposals, the bill establishes basic definitions, provides an exemption for digital currency transactions, and harmonizes the roles of the SEC and the CFTC, delineating regulatory swim lanes and granting a significant jurisdictional expansion to the CFTC. Now, the bill is most productively seen as an invitation for further dialogue. So this is only the first draft. We're not going to put this and etch it into stone and say, hey, this is how it's going to play out. First draft, we're going to have a lot more information. And I think over the next few weeks, we're going to get a lot more clarity on crypto regulation. So one of the most hotly debated and potentially impactful sections is DAOs. While the act helpfully clarifies elements of DAO policy, further action is required to answer the remaining questions around legal status, applicable laws, and jurisdictional authority. So they go over what DAOs are, why this regulation is important. We do know what DAOs are. Most of us do, right? These are where bodies that are blockchains, digital assets, and associated techs to collaboratively allocate resources, manage activities, and make decisions. Usually it's the holders of a various cryptocurrency within a DAO structure that is, enabled the voting power. By making operational and financial information publicly viewable and empowering members to suggest, vote on, and directly ratify changes to organizations, DAOs offer a way to decentralize the operations of firms. So a lot of questions around DAOs. I think we'll be getting more information. I think they're first going to address stablecoins, personally. Okay. But in recent years, and really in the last year and a half, DAOs have experienced huge growth within the cryptocurrency market. According to the data analytics site DeepDAO, in 2021 alone, the total value of DAO treasury skyrocketed 40-fold, times 40 by 400 million to 16 billion. And the number of participants in DAOs surged 130x, from 13,000 to 1.6 million. So DAOs got pretty big in 2021. So scroll on down. Let's see if they add anything else here. With DAOs growing at such a rapid rate, some forecasters are predicting that a novel organizational form could expand to $1 trillion in assets under management by 2032, influencing fields as diverse as an investment, research, and philanthropy. They can offer a host of benefits, including greater equity and diminished censorship as well. So that is something else that we're looking at here. Perhaps most importantly, DAOs face regulatory uncertainty and fragmentation. In the U.S., for example, DAOs confront a Byzantine legislative landscape defined by multiple competing state-level frameworks. While these legislative approaches can create optionality for DAOs, they also represent a compliance hurdle, and many have faced criticism for their shortcomings. Without clear legal status, DAOs face operational limitations. They cannot pay taxes and may risk exposing members to unlimited liability. So what will Lummis and Gillibrand, how will they affect DAOs? We don't know exactly yet, but the bill proposes amending the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to incorporate DAOs, defining them as organizations that are governed primarily on a distributed basis, are properly incorporated, and use smart contracts, automatically executing promissory code to generate collective action. A lot of big words here. While this attempt at defining DAOs may at first seem inconsequential, its effects could be wide-ranging. So it looks like they're actually trying to do something as it relates to DAOs. That is good. We do want to keep DAOs within, crypto, no doubt about it. Crucially, the bill defines DAOs in the context of amending the tax code. The development of taxation requirements for DAOs could grant legitimacy to the novel form, but doing so could also create new obligations, including incorporation under specific jurisdictions that may pose a challenge to DAOs with global footprints, because crypto is global. Expert interpretations of the bill's significance for DAOs are mixed. So, interesting. So a lot of things to jump into as it relates to cryptocurrency regulation here this morning. So let's see here. Let's see if there's anything else. Senator Lummis, it is Lummis, rhymes with hummus. I always said Loomis. Herself asserted that the bill is an important step towards securing America's financial leadership for generations to come by providing comprehensive guidance on digital assets. The legislation has already been in progress. Okay, so that's basically it. So basically, this is pretty good news on this front, that they are actually looking at finding a way to incorporate DAOs in the new regulatory framework in the United States. But again, what that looks like globally is tough. And that's why, this whole regulation thing is difficult because crypto is global. So the United States is trying to put their stamp on it and, regulate it within the country, but they can't do that. And that's why Biden is talking with G7 leaders and why they're branching out and looking at different avenues to regulate crypto on a global scale. So let's see here. A lot of things to highlight here. How about an update on the SEC and what's going on that front with Ripple? So let's check out this article. Attorney Jeremy Hogan says the SEC is dragging Ripple's lawsuit backwards by attempting to hide everything. There's no doubt that they're prolonging this process. They know that the United States is figuring out crypto regulation, that a bill will be put forward sometime in the near distant future. They know that as long as they can drag this thing out and drag it along, that the better chance they have. So we'll jump into this. Let me check out chat here and see what's going on. And guys, please, guys and gals, drop in your thoughts, comments, whatever you're feeling here on all of this that we've already went over. If you've missed a little bit, make sure you go back. We've already watched a bunch of different clips and looked at a few different articles. Let's hit the like button, peeps. Yeah, smash that like button. I appreciate you, Muzz. Let's push this out. This is important stuff, guys. These type of issues in crypto are important no matter which assets you hold. This is going to affect all of us on one way or on one form, in one form or another, regardless of what you hold in your wallets. We can all take a moment to appreciate just how bad of an inflation hedge gold has been proving to be in practice. Yes, I mean, it is outdoing Bitcoin this year, but that's kind of once in a decade occurrence. Sam Frieda's sketch, working too closely with the government. Don't know how that fares with decentralization. Well, I mean, so Samuel, I hear you. But here's the thing. Is it sketch to be working with the government right now when you know regulation is coming? I think that would be smart. If you were a CEO of a company like FTX, like Coinbase, like Gemini, wouldn't you want to know what regulatory advisors are saying and thinking? I would be trying to get buddy with as many people as possible, because here's the thing. We're not stopping regulation. The question of should we regulate or not is gone. It's coming. So we've got to prepare for it, both as investors and, in this case, Sam Bankman-Fried. It doesn't matter anymore what our opinions are. I mean, it's great to have opinions. It's great to have thoughts on why we shouldn't regulate crypto and the power of decentralization, and they're going to ruin that. We can tackle all those, but what's the end game? When we know regulation is coming, we've got to move forward. We got to go beyond the question and say, okay, well, what can we do? What can we do now as investors, as business owners like Sam Bankman-Fried, to better prepare and better situate our investments as retail investors and our companies as Sam Bankman-Fried or Brian Armstrong? Is it Brian Armstrong at Coinbase? I would be trying to get buddy with all of those people. So I don't look at Sam Bankman-Fried as sketch. I see him as trying to get out in front of the future of crypto regulation, because it's coming. There's no way to stop it. It's coming. And I actually credit Sam Bankman-Fried. I think he deserves a standing ovation in what he's already done to help, move crypto forward. Many companies are taking major steps back while FTX is taking major steps forward. So I actually give him a round of applause. I think he's been doing a fantastic job. But I understand your point wholeheartedly. I totally understand. You're coming at it from a true decentralization mindset and what crypto stands for. I understand that. And I don't call for huge regulation, but I do think some crypto regulation is good. I've said this many times. I think there is a ton of money on the sidelines. We know this, right? This is fact. This is a fact. 95% of people are not invested in crypto. How many people are waiting with cash on the sidelines, with dry powder on the sidelines, that have made tons of money in their careers, respectively, that are super wealthy, but won't invest in crypto until there is regulatory clarity? I think there are a ton of those people, a ton of those people. And when there is some type of regulatory clarity or framework put together, that is when we will see mass adoption truly begin. I think we saw it slowly unfold on the retail side the last year and a half, 2 years. I think a lot of the people who came into crypto in this last window, in this last bull market, were from the retail side of things, which is important. But what really drives an industry forward, what really drove the stock market to being this superpower of a market? It's institutional money. And we could talk about how institutions manipulate, the markets. They do. But again, it goes back to one of those same scenarios. What are we going to do? Just complain about it and not invest in the stock market? No. We find a way to live and coexist with the institutions. That's what we do as retail money. We educate ourselves as much as possible and try to coexist with the powers that be, the market makers. And the same thing will be said for cryptocurrency. That's what we have to do. The questions of, or the concerns of, and the complaining, of, this isn't good, this is terrible. What are we going to do about it? We're going to complain about it and not invest, or find a way to coexist with the powers that be? We have to. We have to. And the people who find a way to do so before others will be the big winners. And I think Sam Bankman-Fried is doing just that. I think he's one of the people who are out in front of this issue early, knows what's coming, and he's making moves. Good morning, everybody. I do think regulation will help bring in some money into crypto, since a lot of money that's on the sidelines worry and think crypto is a black hole if there's no safety rules in place. 100%, EMAC. I could not agree more with this statement. I agree 100%. What are people's thoughts about crypto who are not invested in crypto? Rhetorical question. Think about that. What are the predominant themes about cryptocurrency in the news? What are the predominant themes about cryptocurrency from the outsiders that are not invested in the crypto market? What do they talk about? Oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's all bad actors. It's used for drug money. These are the narratives. These are the themes that you hear from outsiders. How do you shift that? How do you change that? How do you flip that on its head? I think the answer is some regulatory framework to make it safer. What else could you do? How do you compete with those narratives as currently constructed in crypto? And let's face it, there are bad actors in crypto. I mean, whatever happened with Terra Luna, do you think Quan is sneaky clean? I don't. There are bad actors in crypto. It's an unregulated space. Therefore, it allows for a ton of bad actors. We need to clean up, at least on that front, we need to clean up the bad actors. Bad developers who continue to deploy bad projects, rug pulls after rug pulls after rug pulls. It is hard as hell as an investor. I know you all see it. I see it. We see it. We're all together on this. We try to vet projects the best we can. But at the end of the day, it's hard. It's hard. There is no one person out there who's been invested in cryptocurrency over the last 2 years that haven't been affected by a bad dev member or bad actor in crypto. Whether you had your money in Voyager, whether you had your money in, that wasn't necessarily bad actors. That was more or less bad planning. But even on that other front, everybody in some way, shape, or form has been affected by a bad actor in crypto, right? Timsky, good morning. What do you think about the staking lending projects like VVS, Tonic, and MMF? And as they boomed, will they boom as high as they did before on the way to a bull market? It's going to be interesting, Timsky, to watch how that plays out. I don't think lending projects will have as much of an ability to do what they did over the past 2 years. I can't see that happening when more regulatory clarity comes in. How many tokens will Shibarium burn if you had to guess? How many per year? Peter, I'm actually not sure on that front. I mean, they want to build in a burn mechanism with Shibarium, but I don't think they've released how many tokens will be burned. I'm guessing you're asking per year. I'm not sure. They haven't released that yet. One Hit Gaming says Tonic is trash. VVS is the one. Okay. By Maker. What's up, Ogly? Morning, Boca. Good morning, man. Nice little nerd pun thrown in there. Yeah, I know. Did you like that? Cat's in the house. What's up, man? Roberto, what's up? Exactly, Chris. I mean, this is what we hear. Ask your friends and family who aren't invested in crypto what they think about crypto. It'll be all negative things like, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. And there are some cryptocurrencies that are Ponzi schemes. 100%. I mean, no doubt about it. And we need to find a way to get those out of crypto. Raul, what's up, man? Complain we don't have to roll over. Nakia, here's the thing. I understand your point. Point taken. Complain. We don't have to roll over. So where does complaining get you? Do you really think retail investors are going to drive the narrative and what the United States and the powers that be are going to do with crypto? Sometimes you just have to be logical here and understand that, sure, you can have an opinion. You can have a strong opinion. But let's face it. My opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. When it comes to crypto regulation, something that big, our opinions don't matter. We have to follow the news like we're doing now, follow the information that's out there, and act accordingly. I mean, that's what we have to do. Yeah, I'll complain about it, bro. I mean, we can complain about it. That's fine. I mean, that's cool. But at the end of the day, we're not going to change anything. We can have our opinions on it. We can complain about it. But at the end of the day, we better be taking the necessary steps forward and staying locked into all the news and information we can to be ahead of the game. Right? I think so. Thanks for staying on top of this. What's up, Larry? It's very important to our future. 100%. This is important to the entire crypto industry. So we have to be locked into this. Government should take a strict fraud, waste, and abuse stance and stay out of regulation. Yeah, I hear you, Kat. I get you. I totally get it, man. Sniff says Sam Bankman-Fried is from the tribe, just like Mashinsky. That's all I needed to know. You know what? Altcoin Daily did a video with Fried. I think I'm gonna let's actually watch this video because I wanted to watch it this morning. Altcoin Daily. I actually wanted to watch this morning. Here it is. Sam Bankman-Fried. The crypto market just bottomed. Buy Bitcoin now. Let's mute that real quick. We'll watch this here in a sec. Nam for president. What's up, Rick? So I think, wait a minute. So Sam Bankman-Fried, Bitcoin has bottomed. Okay, so I think it's actually this whole first bit. We'll watch that here in just a sec and see what Bankman-Fried has to say here. Without some form of regulation, cryptocurrency will not get any bigger because people are afraid. I agree, Roy. And again, I mean, a lot of new people popping in. Good morning to you out there. A lot of things we're talking about crypto regulation this morning in a lot of capacities. I put a video out this morning. Yahoo Finance had a little video, a lot to get to. So if you're just popping in, you missed the first bit of the broadcast, either go back and check that out or just get this information. It's important. But I agree 100% with what Roy has said here. Talk to people who are not in crypto and ask them about crypto. That's the best way to know what the predominant themes are and what people think. People think it's all about bad actors. It's all about Ponzi schemes. It's all about, people manipulating people. And there is some of that, but we also know there are good quality projects in crypto that are trying to value, 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 better financial structure, value giving people power back, right? But how do we get there? We need some regulatory framework. That makes it safe. That will make really widespread adoption happen in crypto. It's the only way. It's the only way. I mean, we're only sitting at 5% of people in crypto. It's the only way to get people into crypto, both retail money and, in my opinion, the real thing that drives us forward is the institutional money that continues to sit on the sidelines and wait. They're waiting. If Terra Luna goes back, should I get my money back on Voyager? Back up, should I get my money back on Voyager? I mean, Jose, I personally am looking to get all of my money off of centralized exchanges right now. I'm working, I've been doing that over the past couple weeks, slowly but surely, getting my money off of centralized exchanges. I might keep it a little bit on a few just for trading purposes, but anything long-term, I'm getting into the decentralized wallets and onto ledgers. I use the Nano X, by the way. Keep the government out of crypto. I understand that, Maroney, but okay, let me ask you all this. Okay, if we keep the government completely out of crypto, how do we advance crypto moving forward? How do we get more people invested in crypto without some type of regulation? What's the alternative? Because it's fine and dandy to hear that, oh, we don't want government in crypto. Okay, well, what's the solution then? You're identifying the problem you have with the government being in crypto, but what do you do? How do you allow for the crypto industry to grow? How do we get rid of the negative connotations that people have with cryptocurrency that are not in crypto? How do we do that? I don't know. What's the other alternative? Is there one? Is there one? I don't know. Is crypto safe, and how can exchanges just take people's money, outsiders' point of view from a friend? I think regulation. Exactly. I'm telling you, ask your parents, ask your friends, ask your family members who are not in crypto what they think about crypto. It's all negative. That is the surrounded theme or the surrounded belief about cryptocurrency in the crypto market. That's why people don't want to invest in it. And again, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, we saw exponential growth in the crypto industry, exponential growth in 2020, 2021, and even here in 2022. More people have a Bitcoin address, and this happened this year. More people have a Bitcoin address than ever before. So there are people still coming into crypto. But if we want to expedite this process, if we really want to take this thing to the next level, what do we need? What else would work other than some type of regulatory clarity to ensure people's money is safe? What else could we do? I agree, Glenn, 100%. I'm happy with the community I don't want regulations. That's fair. Do you want your investments to move up in higher in prices, though, Nakia? If you do, how do we do that? How do we do that without regulatory clarity? Nakia, do you hold Bitcoin? Do you want Bitcoin to be $500,000 someday? How do we get there? You think that's going to be done in this current environment? I don't think so. Facts, they need to regulate to raid these cockroaches of scammers. I agree. 100%. I mean, the seat that I sit in, I see it all the time, and I've been wrong. I'm not someone who's going to sit here and say, I'm always right. I always just have it all figured out. No, nobody does. And if anybody is saying that in the cryptocurrency market, they're lying to you. Nobody has got it right all the time. In fact, you don't have to be right all the time to do really well in crypto or investing. Nobody's always right, ever. But especially in this environment, it is hard to sift through the bullshit. It's hard to sift through the bullshit. You could do everything you could do. You can vet the tokenomics. You can, oh, this person can dox and oh, they got a CertiK audit. Oh, they're doing all the right things, right? And it could still go terribly wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't vet projects that way. You should check the box and look at things like that. Look at locked liquidity. Look at all those things that we talk about for sure. But at the end of the day, people can still pull a fast one on a bunch of investors in this current environment. They can. And they do. All the freaking time. All the freaking time. It happens every single day. And again, you can vet all you want. But at the end of the day, do you really know that your investment is safe? Especially when, you're hanging out with the, smaller caps. When you're investing in the smaller caps, it's really hard to know who's good and who's not. It's a little bit different when you're investing in Polkadot and Cardano and Avalanche and Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's a little different. But even in that space, bad things happen. Look at Terra Luna. Look at Celsius. Right? So what else is the answer? I don't know. I don't know. What's up, Steve? Patreon member here. Steve, I appreciate you, man. Always locked in. Member of the private community. Just posted the newsletter, by the way, for all the private community members out there. There are bad actors in banking, politics, and in life. The bigger issue here is we are threatening a long-established financial cable. This is a really good point. That does not want to lose power. They will fight to the death. It's a great point, Boko. 100%. There are bad actors across the board. 100%. This is a great point. Great point. And they are fighting. I mean, look what's happening with XRP, Ripple Labs. I mean, and we'll go back and look at that article here. I have it pulled up. We'll go back and look at that. But you're 100% right, Boko. You're threatening a long-established financial system. The Silk Road had a major impact on crypto, good or bad, good and bad. It's a good point, Glenn. I don't know, still feel like we are going lower and there is pain to still be had. Oh, I think so too, Fora. We'll find out. Bankman-Fried, though, maybe thinks it just bottomed. We'll see. We'll see. If we go back below 20 and bounce again, maybe that 17.5 was our low. I don't know. But at this point, we already saw 17.5. If we see 16 or 15, is it really that big of a deal? I don't think so. Bad actors like Saitama. Yeah, I mean, there are many of them, Silly Willy. I mean, we just don't have a lot of measures right now to vet people running projects, right? Even when they dox, they manipulate. If you get scammed, that's your own fault. Be a freaking adult and stop blaming others. Okay, Nakia, nobody's blaming other people. I'm just pointing to the fact, listen, I agree with you. If you get scammed, it's your own fault. I understand that. But there's also the element of what if you had all the information that you needed to, you might have not got scammed. What if the bad dev member wasn't able to be a dev member at all? You may have not got scammed. What if there were very strict and stringent KYC measures put in place to where bad actors would be pushed out of crypto? You may have not got scammed. So there are structural changes that could be made with a little bit of crypto regulation that could reduce the amount of scams. I agree. You should always look at yourself in the mirror. You shouldn't blame other people when you lose money. You're taking a risk when you invest in cryptocurrency. No doubt about it. You're taking a risk when you invest in anything. And you should never point the finger. That's not how you grow at life. I mean, you gotta take it, right? You got to take it upon yourself and make changes and learn from it. I get that. But we can limit the amount of distress and the amount of people getting wrecked in crypto by doing something with crypto regulation. And really, I think people are getting hung up with the crypto regulation as like this threat against decentralization. Really, what I'm saying is, more than anything, better KYC, better audits, better information, better tools, better education, better resources, more clarity around all of crypto. And I think it starts with knowing that it's a bad actor and knowing we shouldn't invest in a certain project with this person at the helm. That's really what it is. Because at the end of the day, a project is just only as good as the person running it. Right? I mean, it could be a great idea, but if it's a bad person, then you're going to get scammed. They can have an unbelievable idea, right? And there's a lot of crypto projects out there like it. Revolutionary ideas. But when you have bad people behind revolutionary ideas, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have 28K into Voyager. I never thought the platform would go under. I would have thought a coin or token would have lost, but no, it was the platform. Yeah, exactly, Jose. And we're seeing these centralized systems come down. That clip we watched at the beginning of the broadcast here, it's not the DeFi space that's really, feeling it. It's not the decentralized side. They've held up pretty well. It's the centralized exchanges. What's up, Power Zone? SHIB over 1.2 million holders. I saw that. Can we achieve 2 million this year? Man, that would be huge. But finally got a negative COVID test going back to work. Been 2 weeks. That's great to hear, Luke. Both of my grandparents both have COVID, so it's been really hard. They're struggling right now with it, and so say a prayer if you would. Yeah, my grandfather got it and then gave it to my grandmother, who has really low sugar. So it's been pretty stressful. I'm gonna go over there later today and help out. But yeah, it's still here and it's impacting people. That's why I don't listen to people. That's why I don't listen to people. Make your own decisions, Jermaine. What's up, Jermaine? It's been a while, man. There's a difference between Ponzi and Ponzi scheme. Exactly. Actually, I don't know what you're talking about, Sniff. Ponzi and Ponzi scheme. What's the difference? Hey, bro, what are the chances for Bitcoin to hit $12? $12? That's not happening, I don't think. I don't think we're going to $12, Enric. I hope not. Regulations equal repercussions for rug pullers. Much needed. Be cool. Yeah, I like that. What's up, Apu? Usually the people that argue against crypto are non-investors and only read headlines. The FUD comes from people not willing to learn. Crypto could bust, but so could the US dollar. No guts, no glory. I hear you. Thanks for saying my name right, dude. Nakia. Yeah, no problem. All right, let's listen into Sam Bankman-Fried, what he thinks. This is Altcoin Daily, by the way. Great resources here and great channel they have. Let's listen in here.
Reasons that we couldn't be at the bottom. And I'm not trying to say that we definitely are at the bottom, but I think the unwinding that had to happen has happened.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. If you hold Bitcoin, has the crypto market bottomed? Well, Sam Bankman-Fried, on a recent episode of Real Vision, seems to think that if we haven't, we are damn close. In today's video, that's exactly what I want to share with you. We'll take a look at what the charts are telling us, both the positive and the negative. We'll look at both options for Bitcoin, as well as recent altcoin news, what's happening in the metaverse, and much more. So, like always, check the timestamps down below in the video description, hit the like button, and let's jump in, starting with this full, about 70-second clip from Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, my only gripe with this statement from SBF is that he does come off as a little wishy-washy by the end of this clip. He says, yes, I believe we've bottomed or we're close, but then he immediately says, maybe the opposite as well. Either way, we'll listen to this clip, but then we'll use this to actually look at the charts and talk about both options. Watch this.
I don't see any particular reasons that we couldn't be at the bottom. And I'm not trying to say that we definitely are at the bottom, but I think the unwinding that had to happen has happened. And I think that if you saw a bit of a reversal in risk asset pricing in general right now, I think crypto just go along with that. And I think that there's nothing that is theoretically stopping tomorrow from being the day that the recovery starts in earnest. Now, of course, that's assuming that for some reason good things will happen tomorrow, right? If instead tomorrow bad things happen, then things will go down more. And so I'm not even sure I'm making an asymmetric statement right now between upside and downside. I think I'm almost just trying to not make an asymmetric statement and just saying I don't see a particular reason that it needs to be downside weighted right now, short term. I think it could go either way. And I think that I don't know that we're waiting for the other shoe to drop right now. I think the shoes have dropped and we're sort of in a let's see what happens with the world type situation. But I don't feel totally confident. And obviously not financial advice.
All right, we'll let that ad play through. So that was Sam Bankman-Fried talking about have we bottomed yet? He's going to kind of give that politically correct answer, but let's see what else they have to say here.
Like I said, sort of wishy-washy. He says both options are possible, obviously, but this is my takeaway. He's saying that so many people are in bear market mindset right now, thinking that because we've gone so low, because we've seen all these collapses, that we're going to continue seeing destruction in the crypto market like we've seen. But Sam's point is that unless we get new information, something horrible happens tomorrow. Maybe an escalation in the war in Ukraine. Maybe the Fed comes out with an emergency meeting, makes a declaration nobody's expecting. Unless we get new information that's negative, the worst is probably behind us.
I agree with that.
We're not going to see another stablecoin as big as Luna's USD collapse. We're not going to see another hedge fund as big as 3AC declare bankruptcy. And the three biggest crypto lenders, which would be Celsius, BlockFi, and Voyager, have already laid their cards on the table. Now, yes, a contagion effect is real. Yes, those major companies affect so many other companies, especially if the lending and the borrowing is on other entities' balance sheets. Very possible. But FSB's point is it's not going to be as big as what we've already seen. So unless we get another piece of news in a week to the negative, a big piece of macro news, then the worst of the sell side pressure is probably behind us for now. Now, let's dig into this. Because while nobody can see the future, I'm not a financial advisor. We can check out some charts and see what they say. So first off, big fundamental chart, and I have shared with you things like this before. When in doubt, zoom out and think big picture. Internet versus crypto adoption. Do people realize this? So here is the chart showing the total users in the millions. Green is the internet and blue is for crypto. Internet starts from 1990 to 2000.
I love this. I love this chart, by the way. Total internet users versus total crypto users. It's following a very similar trend line. I saw something the other day that had crypto adoption and cell phone adoption, and then Bitcoin adoption. So it was Bitcoin adoption, cell phones, and internet, and they had three different lines. And basically, crypto was kind of somewhere in between the two. And then they started forecasting the price of Bitcoin and gave an average estimate of about $300,000 by 2027 per Bitcoin based on adoption rates. It was interesting. There's a lot of different perspectives. You could poke holes in that, I know, but thought it was fascinating nonetheless. Let's finish this little clip and then we'll bounce back over here and I'll check out chat here. Welcome in everybody too. If you're new to the channel, really appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Really helps us out here on YouTube. Pushes us up in the old algorithm, and consider subscribing. Hopefully you're getting value here this morning.
So the rise of the internet compared to the rise of crypto, showing total users from 2014 to up to 2024, although we're in 2022 now, laid together. What do you notice? Cryptocurrency right now has the exact same users as the internet did back in 1998. So what this means to you is, even though the price of any crypto fluctuates heavily day to day, actually incredibly volatile even month to month, the majority of the world isn't even into crypto yet. We're at the exact same levels as the internet in 98.
And how do we get those people into crypto? What's the answer? I said crypto, some type of crypto regulation. Maybe there's a better solution. I don't know. Am I missing something? But again, we're already following the adoption curve of the internet, which is huge. This is why we always say zoom out. We are early, people. We are early. All right. Let me go back here. Actually, I'll leave it right here. Let me actually go back out here. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, Enric said 12K. Okay. Yeah, 12K Bitcoin certainly could be a possible scenario. I think maybe I read it wrong, but it said $12. I'm like, I don't think we're going that low, man. What are your thoughts on Zill? I have some. Thoughts on Polkadot? I have some. The government created crypto? Maybe. Our government is a fraud, so either way it sucks, but got to roll with the punches. Exactly. The dollar is failing because no one wants to use it. Also, I think they want to tank the market. But I like what you said here, Justin. You got to roll with the punches. You can't just sit. Anybody who sits there and just complains about everything, how are they moving forward? How are they improving their life? How are they improving their portfolio? How are they getting better? We can't do that. We can't just sit there and complain. We have to act. We have to act and react to the information we have. Crypto definitely needs some guardrail regulations. I agree. We all want change, but when it comes, we cry because we are stranded in old traditions. Interesting point, Tim. Pooh, what's going on? Great questions. Love the channel. Thanks, James. Appreciate you, man. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Busted Caps? Dean Allen, it's true. I think as it relates to regulation, I'm a little behind in chat. Actually, way behind in chat. This came in 10:08. All right, so I'm going to skip forward here. True, this is 100%. Scammers and pump and dumps have to go. When prison is an option, we'll see. I agree 100%. They haven't got wrecked unless they sold it dollar cost average. Well, there's a difference between, dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin versus dollar cost averaging into a bad project that people continue to pile their money in and then later find out that it's a bad dev member. That could have been reprimanded early if there were some better KYC measures, right? Before the government do their regulations, there should be a team of crypto intelligence minds, at least show guidelines to, because they, as far as a crypto dev. Yeah. Robinhood did an awesome thing by having a wallet. Yeah, they definitely did. What's up? We definitely need the police and crypto. Devs need to be punished and money returned to the investors. I agree. I think I missed a couple super chats here. Let me get these. Nakia, here's a super chat, $10 donation. Thank you so much, Nakia. Zach, what's wrong with slow organic growth? Why are people in crypto in such a freaking rush? Thanks for saying my name right. Shout out to the Pharaoh Protocol, Phoenix Finance. Check out SC based on KWH. So I hear your point again, Nakia, and I totally understand where you're coming from. What's wrong with slow organic growth? Nothing. And we'll still get slow organic growth with regulation. It'll just happen faster. It's still going to be slow. It's not going to like that, but it will be, we won't get the big players in crypto without it, in my opinion. It's still going to be slow with or without it. That's at least my 2 cents. But I really respect your opinions here. And I love that we're having some good, strong informational debates here. Yeah. Jacob, our parents vaccinated. So, oh yeah, dude, 100%. I got it 2 months after I had the double jab. I don't want to talk too much about this stuff though on here. You're in crypto space now. Repeating words from TV is dumb. Okay. Thanks for your opinion. They haven't got wrecked unless they sold it. I've been in crypto less than a year, and I know already to do at least a little research before investing and never give anyone my information. Never invest what I can't afford to lose. No one had to tell me. That's great. But others, Nakia, still need that information. I mean, that's not everybody. I love that you have that knowledge, and most people I think out there that have been in crypto for a year probably do now. But, there are still a lot of other people who are just now getting in or who are not in yet that need to be properly educated, right? Like that smash button. I like that. No name. Thank you so much for the donation. Hi, Zach. Appreciate you as always. Can you do a review on Boxacoin and their utility? Boxaestate.com. I've heard about it, no name, a little bit. I'll have to look into it. But right now I want to focus more on regulation. But I appreciate the comment and I appreciate the super chat very much, man. What's up, Edward? Why don't they implement the tax burn? WTF? Why does it take so long? On which asset? I like to complain, but you're right. I know. Yeah, Ronald, I know, but I mean, complaining and what's it gonna do, man? It's not gonna do anything. We got to respond and react and accordingly, man. Regardless of what's gonna happen, people who sit there and complain about things never get anything done, man. Like, that's the same reason why, like, I don't get into like the drama and stuff. Like, if it's not pushing, us forward, all of us. I mean, that's my goal, is to add value, provide perspectives, better information. That's why I started this channel. If it's not pushing us forward, if it's not bettering our lives, I'm not talking about it. I don't care about anything that's not bettering us. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for anything drama filled. For what? That's not going to improve our lives. It's for the birds. I'm good. September 9th is a big day for crypto. Remember this day. XDC is a hard fork of Ether. Yeah, we talked about ISO 22s quite a bit recently, and that was on a recent live stream over the weekend when I was in Atlanta. We talked about ISO 22s quite a bit. Regulation is crucial. I'm more worried about what cryptos will be the Apples, Microsofts of the future. Yes. And I think your best bet right now, Matt, on that is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Complaining is like worrying, does nothing. Exactly. It actually disables you from getting shit done. You sound excited. This is what you've been waiting for. Rodney, I mean, listen, man. Yeah, I'm excited because it's information we need. And I think this will actually, here's the thing. I think some type of crypto regulation could actually propel us into the next bull run. I really do. I think there are a lot of people, again, on the sidelines still even in these economic times, the institutions and a lot of wealthy investors have money to spend, but they're not going to spend it until they have clarity. I mean, obviously, I want all the retail money to come in too, and I want the middle class and people even below the middle class to be invested in cryptocurrency, and they will be. That will come when we get, a better economic environment. But I think as part of the next phase in crypto, as part of the next big push forward, some type of regulatory framework could take us to new heights. I'm telling you. I think it will take us to new heights. I think it's going to be good. Where is crypto today? I haven't even looked at the charts or anything. All right, Bitcoin's at 24, so it's still staying above 20. Did it hang on to 20 throughout the night? I think it did. Yeah, it did. So it's hanging in there above 20, but it is trending down here the past 2 days or so. Oh, my bad. You guys weren't even looking at what I was looking at. There's the 7-day. It's still hanging out above 20, though. Morning, Zach. I'm feeling good about ADA, Ape, Terra, and Gala. Also waiting for SHIB to go parabolic. Regulation will bring more investors in. Ryan, I hear you, man. I like all of those assets that you mentioned there. Yeah, man, I do invest in stocks. What are your top three? Top three stocks? Love the channel. So I don't invest right now, at least in a lot of individual stocks, but my top three stocks, to no surprise, are Apple, Amazon, and Google. I think those are your best bets. Apple, Amazon, and Google. And Tesla would be right there too. But I'm more of an ETF mutual fund guy right now in the stock market. But I just heavily started getting interested and really invested in it. I played around with some penny stocks back in 2020 and I did okay. I had some fun with it, made some money, did some flips, and most of that money ended up going into Dogecoin, and then profits from there ended up going into SHIB, and then profits from there ended up going to Saitama at the time. So that was kind of my introduction into this whole thing, was actually penny stocks. But yeah, I would say Apple, Amazon, Google, man, right now. All the coins that have a tax burn, the community wants it. Let's do it already. We are missing a lot of opportunity. Oh, I got you, Jose. I hear you. Whatever happened to Cliff Token? It's still around. It still exists. It's still here. It's just been hit very hard, like everything. It's still here, but as you can see, it's bottomed way out. That was a crazy launch, though, on Cliff. If you took profits on the way up here, man, that was a fun one late last year. That was the height of the meme coins, man. That's when the meme coin era was full go, Will we see another era like that again? Maybe not. Maybe not. Regulation would propel because it would be in the news. It would be in the news more, and hopefully with good info, not just the BS that it's bad. That's actually a great point, Forsaken. You're right, because now so many times when we hear crypto in the mainstream media, it's negative. It's look what happened to Celsius. The crypto market is imploding. The crypto market is crashing. The crypto market is dead. The crypto market is this. It's that. It's always bad news. What does that do for the minds of people not invested in crypto when they see that? That does not make them want to come in. So you're right. Some positive messaging, positive reinforcement around crypto regulation, around it being a safe environment now to play in. I agree 100%. That's a really good point. And maybe regulation in crypto does bring positive press coverage. I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. For crypto to flourish worldwide, regulation is a must. I agree. We definitely need to be patient with adoption. Everyone doesn't learn or understand at the same pace. So the diligence of those who know is necessary to bring along the skeptics and the unknowing. I agree. The one big drawback that I can see with the regulations is the possibility of large finance having too strong a hold on what, where, when, and how much I can invest. Being able to trade DeFi is key. I agree, Timsky, 100%. I agree. But I mean, nobody's stopping us from investing as much money as we want to in Apple, right? I mean, unless I'm missing something. Are there stipulations for me investing in Apple? I don't think there should be in crypto either. Should the US create a separate crypto division with people that understand crypto as opposed to letting the SEC? I agree. I think they should, Mario. Yes. Let me try to catch up in chat here. Cliff Token still holding and waiting for the market to go. Lance, they couldn't admit a windfall. Jack it up. Okay. Muhammad, Luna Classic 2.01. I think eventually it could get to 1 cent. I do. I would throw in the S&P 500 too. Yes, I do have a good chunk in the S&P 500. That's a good way to go about it too. Where do I see Doge going? I think Doge will move with the overall market. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think Doge and SHIB are here to stay. I do. I think Doge and SHIB both have proven themselves, and they're both here to stay. I mean, will Doge go to like $1 this year? Probably not. But can it get to $1 in the next bull run? Sure. I think it could. SHIB devs or someone should create some type of major burn parties to include whales, and for everyone, some sacrifice could go huge gains. Just a thought. I agree, James. But that opportunity is there through the burn portal. But I don't think people should be forced to burn their tokens if they don't want to, right? But the opportunity's there. By the way, if SHIB drops below this 10 line, if we get a 0 back, it's a great opportunity in my opinion. We're seeing SHIB drop a little bit right now, so keep an eye on it. If we dip below the 10s, so that would be, dipping below this line right here, I'm going back in. I'm adding. Terry Horn, Zach, are you done with Saitama? I have not heard anything in a while. I'm totally out now. Listen, I wish everybody the best with Saitama, but yes, I'm not gonna cover it on the channel anymore. I mean, I'll talk about it here and there. I mean, for now, all I want to see is people rekindle some of their losses. The dev team has just failed us too many times, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous with what was promised. I was taken advantage of. Just like everybody else out there. I thought this thing was going to be amazing, and time after time they failed us. And I'm over it. I'm moving on. Right. I don't think it's good for SBF to buy all these companies that are failing. Sam Bankman-Fried. I think he's just throwing money around, and if it fails, then FTX may go down also. But what do I know? I understand that, but would you rather see it go under, or would you rather see a successful company come in and acquire it to help out the overall industry? I'd rather FTX come in and acquire it. Keep those holders and users in crypto. Keep them happy. Don't let them think crypto failed them and it's over, right? I mean, so I see both sides of it, though. I understand where you're coming from too. Hey, Zach, I posted an idea on crypto regulations. I missed it, Steve. Where did you post that? Oh, we are seeing a new crypto coins like Conpay, still 140x during their launch on big exchanges like Bybit. So the hype is still very much alive. I like that. We need more famous people talking about crypto. That's coming along. I was surprised Shiba Doge was included as a top ETH whale holding. Do you have any background to this project? So we've covered it on here on the channel before. I love the idea. So it was created by Shiba Inu and Dogecoin whales. I did not think there were that many whales in the project. And I still think that there might be some issues with those numbers, but I could be wrong. It is a much smaller market cap than SHIB. So to have that many whales in it from the Ethereum side, I don't know. I'd have to look a little deeper into it. That could be a little bit off though. But yeah, I did a video on recently. There was an article out there from CoinGate that said that Shiba Doge flipped SHIB from Ethereum whales, and then SHIB took it back. So it's interesting. I'm almost caught up in chat here. Let's see. Regulation will end DeFi. I don't think so either. There are plenty of stipulations about investing in Apple, insider trading laws, disclosure laws. But I mean by the amounts. Reporting for app. I mean the amount you can. That was the question, Daniel. I think somebody asked, well, I don't want somebody telling me how much I can or cannot invest. I don't think there's any limits on how much I can put into Apple, though, right? Can SHIB catch DOT in the market cap this week? DOT? Interesting. Maybe it definitely could. I mean, it's right on the heels of Tron here. We would need a nice catalyst, and Polkadot would have to kind of stay flat. But I think eventually it certainly could. It's not too far from the DAI coin either. SHIB's not too far from the DAI coin, right? We're sitting at a 6 billion. I mean, well, it's 1 billion. Still, that's pretty big actually. 1 billion away from DAI. Not in October it wasn't though. We were tacking on $1 billion market cap like every hour when that thing was going crazy. All those security laws and such which allow for FDIC. What price do you expect for Bone within a month of Shibarium launch? It's a good question. I don't have a crystal ball, but I could see it like at $1.50, $2 if it's still around like 40, 50 cents now. What's your thoughts on Treat being used as a new reward token? Well, I think we do need a reward token. So if we're not going to use Bone, enter Treat. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. I think there's a lot of pushback when we see like new tokens coming into the ecosystem. People think like they're immediately taking away from SHIB. As long as it all works together and operates to help the entire SHIB ecosystem, the SHIB token included, I'm okay with it. Appreciate you, Terry. Morning, Gary. How we doing, man? Do you see how Vitalik interviews spoke about Shiba? No. What, recently? I missed that. Mohad, where was that? Saitama is Enron because Enron could cook the books with fake projects of rumors of projects and screwed all investors. That's an interesting comparison. Yes, there are limits you can own of Apple without fulfilling certain requirements. Okay. All right. But most retailers aren't going to run into those issues, right? What's your opinion on crypto and movies coming together? Movie Block seems to be a first of its kind. Steve, I have not heard of that. That's interesting. It's a streaming site. So is Theta. And Theta Network is, a top 50 crypto. This is a decentralized video streaming platform too. I like Theta. But what is this? Movie Block? I haven't heard of this. Movie Block. Interesting. It's up 25%. It's ranked 302. Very interesting, Steve. Huh. Okay. Movie Block. Interesting. His mission to solve problems caused by the domination of theater and home entertainment industry by conglomerates within its blockchain technology. Creators will get a transparent revenue share, audience data, and equal screening opportunity. The viewers will access diverse films of content and get rewarded for providing curation, subtitles, and marketing materials for the community. Currently, more than 100 movies and dramas have been screened. In the long run, Movie Block aims to create the largest film ecosystem centered on participants. That's fascinating. I like that. Yeah, guys, real quick on the Bandex front, somebody just put in there about Banana Task Force 8. Some big stuff coming today for BTFA. So be on the lookout for that. It's up 15% right now, by the way. But yeah, some big news coming, and Bandex is going to have a huge month in July. So definitely be on the lookout for that. There aren't a lot of small projects continuing to build right now in the bear market. And, I had a meeting yesterday with the BTFA team. Very, very impressed with what they're building and their plans here for the next 2 months. So I'm telling you, this is a small cap project, still only a $5 million market cap. Full disclosure, I'm working with them. I'm a whatever you want to call it, a partner with them. I'm helping market their project, but I'm fully invested in this project and have been since very early on. Day one, before it launched, I was calling T. Hobbs, who now, of course, works for BTFA, and I said, "Am I looking at this right? I mean, this is something very interesting." He's like, "Yep." And I remember before it even launched, I was interested in it and talking to Hobbs. So be on the lookout today. Some big news dropping today with a potential partnership with another project that I'm very fond of. So be on the lookout for that. Lorenzo says big week for big month for Bandex. Yeah, Bandex has a lot of catalysts coming. A lot of potential exchange listings are looming. So be ready because Bandex could be performing really nicely. Look at that. It's up 61% still in the week. So Bandex has been looking really strong this week. Let's see. Crypto plus movies. A Nation on BSC. Okay, B-Rise. Price is going down is a bummer, but a once-in-a-lifetime chance to DCA into blue chips at a low price. I think we're going to have the biggest bull run yet. More people are into crypto now. I agree. I think the next run will be bigger than the last. I do. But Steve, thanks for that MBI call. That's interesting. Keep tabs on that. Best dev in the crypto space, best project, best community. Don't miss out on Volt for 2022. I like what Volt's building. $50 billion market cap this year. Top 10 token. Do you think Saitama will come back? I failed to take profits like an idiot, and I'm still holding. I hear you, Josh, and I wouldn't sell at this point. For your sake, man, I hope they do, but I'm not holding my breath, man. It's just been brutal, man, and I feel for you and so many others. What's up, Zach? It's been quite some time. I've been grinding, working on a lot of things. Still have been continuing watching your videos, taking it in, learning. You always come through with knowledge and wisdom. I appreciate you, Emmett. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Has Coinbase fixed the issue for selling for cash and bank deposits? Yeah, from my knowledge, that was outside the U.S. that they were having those issues. What I meant to say was crypto plus movies, A Nation's DeFi token. Okay. Appreciate you, True. Stocks are down, but NASDAQ is really down. What do you think about Playboy partnering with Sandbox? Really? I didn't see that, Mario. For real? That's wild. That's wild. Let's see what else they got out here. Crypto regulation. Oh, here we go. The FSB, Financial Stability Board. Okay, we have published an official statement on international regulation and supervision of crypto asset activities. Okay, this is interesting. I will put a video out on this too. So-called stablecoins and other crypto assets do not operate in a regulation-free space. Where regulations apply, they should address the risks these assets pose. Crypto asset service providers must at all times ensure compliance with existing legal obligations in the jurisdictions in which they operate. Stablecoins should be captured by robust regulations and supervision of relevant authorities if they are to be adopted as a widely used means of payment. So this is their statement. Interesting. This is the statement being made on international regulation of crypto asset activities. Discord DM, Zach. Gotcha, Muzz. What you got? Just in, Playboy partnered with Sandbox to build Meta Mansion and bring NFTs into the metaverse. Get the heck out of here. What? That's hilarious. Interesting. Okay. There you go. I mean, hey, that's a big industry. Makes sense. In Canada, not everyone has a chance to invest. Banks and regulators restrict. You have to apply for a trade account, lots of paperwork. Yeah, I know that's the case in a lot of other countries too. Crypto has given me freedom. I hear you, Timsky. Yeah, I hear that. Even crypto in some places, it's similar with the paperwork and restrictions in a lot of parts in the Middle East. I'm excited for that. Great stream, Zach. What's your take on security tokens such as Polymath and Bricken? To be honest with you, Ryan, I don't know much about either one of those. I've heard of Polymath. So you let me just pull it up. Oops. Where'd it go? Polymath. There we go. Provides tech to create, issue, and manage security tokens on the blockchain. Okay. Spearheaded the creation of a unified standard for token security on Ethereum. Over 200 tokens have been deployed using Polymath's Ethereum-based solution. Recognizing that as existing blockchains were sufficient to meet regulatory requirements of capital markets, Polymath built Polymesh, an institutional-grade blockchain built specifically for regulated assets. Interesting. This could be very handy here in the near-distant future, Ryan. I see where you're getting at. Polymath streamlines antiquated processes and opens the door to new financial instruments by solving the inherent challenges with public infrastructure around identity, compliance, confidentiality, governance, and settlement. Interesting. Okay. This could be increasingly important too. Ranked 139. What's the market cap? 178 million. Appreciate that, man. I'm guessing Bricken does something similar. What's going to happen into so Kiko, go back and check out the stream, man. We highlighted a lot of things here in the stream, talking about regulation. I would just go back and watch this one from the top. All right, Joe, I think I'm going to close up shop here. I'm going to do some more videos, record some more videos. Also, be on the lookout. We're going to be doing some more live streaming over on the Clear Cryptos channel. Of course, that's a cryptocurrency that is yet to launch. Let me pull you over there real quick. This crypto is yet to launch, but will be launching later this year. There has been no date set. Now, they do have a YouTube channel in their link tree. Okay. If you want to, go ahead and subscribe now. Get ready because there's going to be a lot of videos being uploaded here daily. 24/7 news network is to be expected here. We're going to start with, just general educational content. But as we get going, there will be interviews with prominent figures in crypto, people from institutions. It's going to be a lot of information and a very, very good place to get quality info on cryptocurrency. So if you have yet to subscribe to the channel, I'm going to drop this in chat. And again, this is a crypto project that is yet to launch, but check out their website. Many of you have probably heard me talk about it. There's the YouTube channel. As Muzz mentioned, come on over, check out the private community too. We've got that link down below. I appreciate everybody popping in. I really do. This is an important live stream, guys, talking about regulation, talking about everything that matters in the crypto industry. I mean, this changes everything. I mean, everything is hinging on these decisions. So we're going to have a lot more information related to crypto regulation, bills, whatever the news is around that. We'll always be covering that in a full capacity. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't walked out the door yet. Hit that like button on your way out as well. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you got some value. That is always, always, always my goal, is that you get value. That is number one. You don't come here for, information that doesn't help you succeed. That's what I'm looking to do always, every single day. So I appreciate all the mods out there. Appreciate everybody out there for tuning in. Anybody new out there, welcome in to the family, and have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic start to the week. More content will be coming throughout the day. Have a fantastic one, guys, and get yourself a cup of coffee, and let's crush this Monday together. All right. I'll catch you all very soon. Bye. By the way, I got rid of the outro. We're going to look for a new one. I know it's too loud. All right. See ya.